All right, shalom, shalom. First and foremost, I'd like to give all honor, praise, and glory unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai, Bahashem, Ruach HaKodesh. Double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone who rule well. Peace and salutations to the elect scattered abroad. All right, this is Brother Bob Razal here with a lesson, and Lord willing, that's edifying. So, today's lesson will be entitled, "The Kingdom is the Solution," right? And just going into the current state of the world. And when you look at the man who's ruling, this is a man that's not fit to rule. Okay. Ever since, the Edomites, came into power, all right, they've, polluted the earth, right? Evils multiplied throughout the earth, right? Just and completely just messed everything up. All right. And here we are, being the prophets of Yahweh Bashim Yahushai. All right. We're telling our people that, this isn't the end all be all. This isn't our rest. All right. We're looking for a righteous kingdom. All right. That will be established on the planet Earth. All right. And not to mention this man Esau, he will be recompensed. All right. For all that he's done, being put into slavery. All right. And ultimately destroyed, once his once it's all over and done with. All right. So this is Proverbs 29:2. When the righteous are in authority, the people rejoice. But when the wicked beareth rule, the people mourn. Yeah, kind of. And, the people are, currently mourning, man. All right. The government, playing games, one day, there's food stamps. The next day, it's cut, or, you get a little bit. All right. This man is completely, defiled the food that we eat, the air that we breathe. All right. People is out here, finding it hard to eat, pay bills, things being inflated. All right. And, this man is with this man's authority that he has, all right, he's using it for complete wickedness. All right. And that's why the people are mourning. The scriptures say when the righteous are in authority, the people rejoice. And that's how it's going to be in the kingdom of heaven. Everything being in its proper order, man. Being incapable of going off, having the laws, statutes, and commandments in our inward parts. All right, and we're going to read all that. All right, because this is the end all be all. All right, the end all be all is not making, Hebrew communities, as, some of these camp leaders may say. All right, the end all be all of being in the truth is ultimately the destruction of America, being saved in the chariots, and establishing the kingdom. All right, and that's what we strive for. That's what we hope for. All right, so to be those first fruits, in the kingdom. Establishing that righteous, authority, under Yahweh Bashim Yahushai, being a part of that government body, Lord willing. Okay. So this is 2 Peter 3:13. Nevertheless, we, according to his promise, look for new heavens and a new earth wherein dwelleth righteousness. All right. So we're not looking to come up in this society. The answer ain't making it in this society, right? Having millions of dollars or, whatever the case may be, being rich. All right. Because we understand that, Yahweh Bashim Yahushai, all right, he's coming to destroy this place. Anything that you earn, anything that you, all the works thereof shall be burnt up, right? That's what it goes into. Matter of fact, we can just read it. 2 Peter 3:10. But at the day of the Lord will come as a thief in the night, in which the heavens shall pass away with a great noise, and the elements shall melt with fervent heat. The earth also and the works that are therein shall be burned up. This is going into the nuclear destruction of America. Okay. Seeing then that all these things shall be dissolved, what manner of persons are ye to be in all holy conversation and godliness, looking for and hastening to the coming of the day of Yahweh, wherein the heavens being on fire shall be dissolved, and the elements shall melt with fervent heat. And we looking for the coming of Yahweh Shai, right? To come and save the elect, Hey, and Lord's will, the brothers, watching, sincere Akim, right, is of that number. All right. And verse 13, nevertheless, we, according to his promise, look for new heavens and a new earth wherein dwelleth righteousness. All right. And when you think about, a earth where everything is in order, the laws, statutes, and commandment of Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua is established. All right. This man going into slavery, just how great the kingdom will be, you damn near, can't even fathom it, man. But that's a part of, the Lord's promise, all right, going back into the land and ruling, all right, which the Lord, gave us Yahweh Shai, right, to for the forgiveness of sins for Israel. It's a way for the Israelites, a mediator for the Israelites to come back to the Father. You see? But let's get the next precept. This is 1 Maccabees 1:9. Or we can start at 7. So Alexander reigned 12 years and then died, and his servants bare rule every one in his place. And after his death, they all put crowns upon themselves, so did their sons after them many years, and evils were multiplied in the earth. And Alexander the Great, or the Greek, was an Edomite. All right, so ever since, all right, Alexander the Greek, the evils have been multiplied throughout the earth, man. All right, all the way to now, to when we live in the most, wicked, most wicked kingdom, all right, that ever before seen, man. All right. We got Esau trying to merge man with machine. You walking around, you see moles walking about, man. Jake is wicked. Our women is proud and wicked as all hell. All right. This place got to go. Food being defiled. All right. Esau looking to push that MOTB. All right. It's a lot that has to be done away with. Once the kingdom comes. Okay. Ecclesiastes 7:7. Surely oppression make a wise man mad, and the gift destroyeth the heart. And that's why when people go up to us, say that we're grumpy, why aren't we happy? Things it ain't really much to be happy about being in this kingdom, man. All right. We complaining continually. All right, to Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua, man, on the highways and hedges. All right, speaking against this kingdom. All right. Because when you really look into it, what this man Esau is doing, it should make you angry. You shouldn't be happy. You shouldn't be in no spirit of mirth, man. All right, you should be looking into the coming of the Lord. All right, but Jake, 2/3 of Jake, they just ain't gonna get it. A lot of these different Israelite leaders, they not in the right spirit as well. All right, not going into the prophecies saying that, this kingdom could go another 1,000 years. All right, building Coliseum debate leagues. All right, these people are living it up, man. All right, making money off the truth. All right, we looking to get up out of here, man. That's why we go into prophecy. All right, the scriptures go into the testimony of Yahweh Shai being the spirit of prophecy. All right. So we're gonna go into the MOTB. We're gonna go into the civil unrest. We're gonna go into the rumors of World War III. Okay, we're going to go into these different events that's happening around the world. All right, because we understand the times that we in, man. It's about to be the end. It ain't no time to play games or do strivings back and forth over nonsense, over nothing. All right, we gotta focus on we gotta focus on what's happening right now, man. And this man Esau, he's starting to come with that great wrath, man. All right. And a lot of these people who, claim to be in the truth, they ain't gonna be built up for that time, man. They ain't gonna be right. They ain't gonna be ready. See? Isaiah 2, and we'll start at 4. And he says, "And he shall judge among the nations, and he shall rebuke many people, and they shall beat their swords into plowshares, and their spears into pruning hooks. Nation shall not lift up sword against nation, neither shall they learn war anymore. And this will happen in the kingdom." All right. It won't be any war in the kingdom. All right. And that's another reason how we know that, the small hats, ain't the people, because constantly in that land, it's a constant battle over that land. It's a constant battle, a constant war. All right. Over there in our land right now. All right. Which those people that's, of course, dwelling in that land go back to Esau. All right. Not Jacob. All right. So that's another way how we know that them ain't the people, because once we get back to that land, which Yahweh Shai will take us back to that land. All right, there ain't gonna be no more war. It's gonna be in the kingdom. All right, and we can read Jeremiah 31 and 31 as well, and we'll close it out. So this is Jeremiah 31:31. "Behold, the days come, saith the Lord, that I will make a new covenant with the house of Israel and with the house of Judah." It's going into the northern kingdom and the southern kingdom. All right. And this hasn't happened yet. The new covenant hasn't been fully established yet. Verse 32, "Not according to the covenant that I made with their fathers in the day that I took them by the hand to bring them out of the land of Egypt, which my covenant they break, although I was a husband unto them, saith the Lord. But this shall be the covenant that I will make with the house of Israel after those days, saith the Lord. I will put my law in their inward parts and write it in their hearts, and will be their power, and they shall be my people." So there you go. And this is going to be in the kingdom. All right. That's why, everything will be in its proper order. All right. It's going to be the kingdom will reign forever. All right. There's going to be no reason, for the Lord to punish us as we're going through right now, because, we're not going to break another covenant. All right. As we just read, we broke the covenant that Yahweh gave us in the land of Egypt, and that's the reason that we're in this state today. All right. But once, the kingdom comes, all right, and the new covenant is fully established, that's when, all right, that righteous authority, will happen. The Israelites will be in rulership. Okay, everything will be in its proper order. See? So that's gonna do it. That's gonna do it, man. The kingdom is the solution. All right, and that's what we strive for, and that's what we look forward to. Day in and day out. We understand that the sacrifices that we've made, the trials that we go through, the hell that we catch, it's all going to be worth it, at the end of the day. The scriptures going to that light affliction, right? Actually, let's get that real quick before we close it out. All right, Salakia, but this is going to be the last precept, 2 Corinthians 4 and 17. "For our light affliction, which is but for a moment, worketh for us a far more exceeding and eternal weight of glory, while we look not at things which are seen, but at the things which are not seen. For the things which are seen are temporal, but the things which are not seen are eternal." So there you go. This is a light affliction. All the hell we catch, the slander we get, All right. Just on the day-to-day basis, just being a servant of Yahweh Bashim Yahushua, man. This isn't an easy walk. All right. It comes with a lot, but, through the spirit and power of Yahweh Bashim Yahushua, we know that the Lord, has better plans for us. All right. We understand it's all going to be worth it. All right. And the Lord is going to be our covering. All right. When all hell breaks loose. All right. So this is all going to be worth it. And getting onto the chariot. All right. Getting them perfect bodies, being in the kingdom, we're going to look back on it and we're going to be like, hey, that wasn't that bad, just compared to the glory, we will receive in the kingdom. None of this shit is worth anything in this kingdom, man. All right. That's why, we not choosing the world, right? We choosing to detach from this world, all right, and fully, put our hope and faith in Yahweh Bashim Yahushua, man. All right. But that'll do it with the lesson, or one that was edifying. So with that, I'd like to give all the honor and praise and glory unto Yahweh Bashim Yahushua Bahashem Rachakodash. Shalom.